Good evening and welcome to Tetrakey TV. My name is Mark Hopkins. I hope you are having a fantastic evening, day, morning, wherever you are in the world. We thought that Rob and I would try and do this together tonight, but he is incommunicado at the moment, so I have no idea where he is or what he's up to. So this is a little bit of a last minute one on my behalf, but we have a good topic I think to talk about tonight. I was jumping the gun last night by saying last night was number 94, when actually in fact when I read back it was 93. So you have two 94s, you lucky people, but tonight is number 94. Please don't forget, have a look at our two books, A Profitable You to Unstoppable Success and Accelerating Your Business Performance. I'm hoping there are some little bits of value in there for you and your business. So tonight, I also want to chat about what environment would you like to work in, because it's really interesting if we think about how we apply focus on design, interior design, environments, and a lot of things we talk about. But the place where we spend most time of the work, most of our lives, which is in work, either if you have a job and you work for someone else or if you are a business owner yourself. And again, it's all about how are you stimulated when you step into a space. How are you structuring yourself in order to maximize the capabilities that you have and the time that you have to generate the returns that you want. The reason it's triggered a topic for me is I quickly popped out today to buy myself a monitor because I was going mad working with two laptops, iPads, phones, and I wanted a monitor. And the difference it made this afternoon in getting stuff done was frightening. And everyone, you might look at me and go, "Jeepers, did that ages ago." But it was a conscious effort on my part to think about what is going to make my life easier. Now, what you also can't see in my office is I have two whiteboards. So I'm sitting directly in front of my desk here, and above me, directly in my line of sight, is a whiteboard, and it is all the strategic things that I am working on, all the questions that I'm considering at the moment in terms of what we're doing with Tetrakey Australia. I had a great call first thing this morning with Brett in Australia, talking about how we need to support and work much closer than we're currently doing. And I actually set Brett two tasks to do. And that was on my list on my strategy things in terms of how we're going to focus on driving Tetrakey Australia. And behind me, what you can't see over that shoulder there in the corner, is my operational whiteboard, which has more of the short term to do things that I'm thinking about that needs to be delivered and done in the short term. Things about cash flow, things about the social media that we need to drive, things about some of the domain names we need to think about, a couple of businesses that we're growing over the next month or two, some things to do there. And it's done on purpose. It's done because you'll see over my shoulder is the door, and directly opposite the door is my strategic whiteboard. Now, I'm in my home, and if I go out this door and I turn right, I go to my bedroom. If I go left, I go to the lounge and the dining room. So I walk up and down this corridor a lot during the day when I'm home. And this door is always open on purpose. It's open on purpose because as I walk past it, I see the strategic questions I'm thinking about. So it's constantly in my line of sight. And the operational stuff is hidden around the door because I don't want my mind cluttered with short-term operational stuff. I want to get to my desk and do that when I set time to do it, but I want my mind focusing on the long-term game. So that's the environment that I've created here. Also, I'm pretty pedantic, you can't see, but on my desk it's empty. There are two laptops, there's an LCD monitor screen, and there's this. I want to keep my environment uncluttered because for me, and that's how I work, some people love clutter. Some people love paper because it makes them feel busy, it makes them think there's lots of things going on. I'm the opposite. I like a bit of clean stuff, I like one thing out at one time, and that's the environment I want to create, because that's how it influences my ability to deliver work. I do a lot of my Tetrakey meetings in coffee shops. Why do I do it in coffee shops? Because I like the buzz. I like in a coffee shop because I can have a conversation with a client and I can start talking about performance in that coffee shop. I can sit down with a client and I can be asking the client, what are you seeing? What are you observing in terms of how this restaurant, this coffee shop operates? If you were the business owner, what the things that would you do? So I'm straight away putting that business owner in an environment that's outside their comfort zone, unless they're in that industry. But get some thinking about performance, get some thinking about the environment they want to create in their business, get them to see the nuances that exist in a team dynamic. So that's another thing that I'm constantly doing, is trying to take people out of their comfort zone. The other thing in environment, especially if you have clients or customers coming to visit you, what impression do you want them to leave with? I wrote a blog. I think we're going to talk about it. Actually, I'm doing a video on it tonight about watching teams operate. And I just came back from France, where I attended one of my best mates' wedding, and we had it in a chateau just outside Bordeaux. And this, when you go into an environment where it's almost like things just happen. This team was so well organised. They operated succinctly. You couldn't see any handovers between different people. It was like it was one person doing multiple jobs who just happened to look different. One was a man, one was a lady. There was brown hair, ginger hair, but it felt like it was one person doing it. So the environment that they created for me was of calmness, of control, of we know what we're doing. No two tasks is too big or too small for us. Whatever was going to make us as the guests have the experience of a lifetime, that's what they were going to do, and they delivered that. So the impression I've been left by the environment they've created was of, you have to go to this chateau. If you get a chance to go and stay there, you have to do it, because you will not regret it. So that's a conscious choice they made on the environment they've created. It's a conscious choice that we have in Tetrakey in terms of where we host things, where we don't host things, where we interact with people, where we don't interact with people. There's a conscious choice in terms of how I set my office up with strategy and operational stuff, with the door open, so it's constantly a flow for me of triggers about things to think about. So as with everything, the environment is critical to your performance, and if you have been on our Facebook page today, you would have seen I shared a video which just smacked me in the face about Yellowstone National Park in America and the introduction of a pack of wolves into Yellowstone, and the intended and unintended consequences that that pack of wolves had on Yellowstone was phenomenal. And it's all about the control and the consciousness that we have in our environment. We have an ability to influence our environment. We have that control. We have that from a nature point of view in terms of everything we've got, recycling, the choice we make in terms of what products we purchase, use of plastic, etc., etc. And we have that in our business in terms of the impressions and environments we create. So it's quite a passionate topic of mine, actually, and I probably could go on for another hour talking about the power of the environment that you create. But I won't. I'm going to curtail myself. I'm going to probably go and write a blog about it now, because I can feel the creative juices flowing. But pause and reflect as you listen to this Facebook Live, and look around you. Look around the style that you have in your house. How much time have you spent on styling your house, getting the design of your house, getting the flow of your house right that suits your lifestyle? I wonder if you've put as much time and effort into how the office flows, how your business environment flows, how the choices you make in the environment flows, I wonder. So if you haven't, pause and reflect and think about what messaging it's sending to yourself subconsciously, and also to your colleagues, and also to your clients, and make sure those are aligned to the vision of the business. So with that, I wish you a fantastic evening. Tomorrow night is definitely Rob, as long as he's still in the land of living and he hasn't got lost somewhere in the Northwest Pacific, because I will be on a hockey pitch, and Friday night we have a match, which I'm very excited. Just if you're interested, we won our last match 14-0, so we're hoping to have another good performance on Friday night. So I will speak to you soon. Have a fantastic day, evening, next 24 hours, and I wish you all the best. Good night.